This is the plaintiff, Jason Leon. He says his former employee, the defendant, was making a tow and crashed into a tree branch, damaging a customer's truck. The defendant promised to work off the debt, but a month later abruptly up and quit. He still owes $4,617.02, and that's just what he's suing for today. This is the defendant, Corey LeMay. He says he was simply driving down the road and a branch hit his truck. A month goes by and the plaintiff approaches him requesting payment for the damage. He was really confused because no one ever mentioned he had to pay for an accident if one occurred. The plaintiff's just a mean, vindictive person because he lied to the unemployment office, telling them he was sleeping on the job and his benefits were denied. He's accused of hitting and running.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Jason Leon?
Yes.
You are suing your former employee, Corey LeMay, for $4,617.02 that you say he owes you for damages that he created through his negligence, according to you, while he was driving a tow truck for you.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
All right. On July 6th, 2011, around, I believe it was about 2 p.m., Corey gives me a call. He was in an accident with a customer's vehicle. He went to go pick it up because the vehicle had an accident with front-end damage.
Okay.
When he was following the customer back to his home, he made a wrong turn, went down a dead end. When he went to go back up, he crashed into a tree branch and caused over $4,600 worth of damage to the vehicle.
I'm sorry, where were you heading when this happened?
I was heading to the customer's house.
Okay, so did the customer go down the dead end first?
No, I had the GPS on, and the GPS was telling me to make a turn down that road and ended up being a dead end.
So you end up going down a dead end, and now you have what kind of tow truck?
It's a flatbed.
So the thing is, the car is up.
Yes.
Right. And you're not towing it, it's not being dragged up, it's actually onto the flatbed.
Yes.
And so now you have to get out of that dead end, and how is it that the accident happens?
When I went to go make the turnaround, what happened was if driving the tow truck, the flatbeds, the back ends kind of swing out a little bit farther if you make a tight turn. And there was a low-hanging branch. I didn't see it in my mirrors. And as I made that turn, the branch nicked the back end of the truck that was on the flatbed.
Okay, did you take pictures of it?
Yes.
May I see it?
I don't have them with me. They're on my computer and my old phone.
Are you kidding me? Who are you saving them for?
Well, I had gotten a new phone. My old phone broke. That's where the pictures are on. The old phone that broke.
Who are you saving them for?
The phone broke.
So you can't get them from that phone?
No, there's no
Okay, so
way.
you don't have pictures anymore?
No.
Do you have pictures?
No, I never got a chance to see the vehicle because after he had the accident with the vehicle, I arranged with the owner of the vehicle to bring it to a collision shop to have it repaired because he had the front end damage, and now I had to take care of the rear end damage because my driver just damaged his vehicle.
I bet the client wasn't very happy.
Well, he was actually appeased that I was willing to, get everything arranged for him
You
because
should
he had
be.
the
Who
front
else would
accident.
get that paid for but you? It's your tow truck company, and
Well,
then you can figure out who you're going to sue about it or collect. But that's really it.
It was a
should be
bad
you.
situation.
Yeah, it was
but
a
whatever
bad
the case
situation.
was, set up the rental with the customer, put him in a rental, got the damages appraised. I never got a chance to see it because they started working on it immediately when it got there.
All right. And the client was going to take the car just to their house?
Because he got hit by another vehicle. It wasn't his fault. So his father was driving the vehicle. He was just getting it back to his house. He was just going to have it towed back to his house in the meantime, and then have an adjuster from Allstate come and look at it and decide where it was going to go from there.
Okay, so he agrees instead to go to your place.
Go to a body shop because
All right.
now he has one insurance
to your
problem.
body shop. Now, do you have insurance that covers this kind of situation?
I do, but it also have an on-hook deductible as well.
Right. So you did not want to go through your insurance?
Well, I made him the offer, but
Made
he was
who the
applying-
offer?
Corey.
Okay.
If I go through my insurance, it'll terminate his employment immediately.
Right.
Second off, if I put it through my
I
insurance.
mean, in order for
Yeah.
the insurance company, for him to continue to have coverage with that insurance company, the first thing they're going to do is say, fire that guy because
Yeah.
he's a liability for us. Okay.
So I was willing to work. I'm like, look, if you want to still continue working, we'll work it out. Pay me off whatever you can, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So he continues to work for a whole month.
Wait, so what was the agreement?
He was going to pay for whatever the damages were. It took a
Okay.
few weeks to decipher what all the damages were because they had to order parts, do everything. And originally, I first got the parts receipt from South Shore because I had to order the parts.
Okay.
The initial parts order was $2,000 roughly. Corey gave me $1,000 towards that.
Okay.
So as time went on, I'm like, all right, Corey, I'm going to need a little bit more money. At that time, he was moving out of his house. He was moving into his, I guess, fiance, wife, whatever, his mother-in-law's house. They were building an apartment in there. At the same time, he was just having a baby.
Okay.
So I wasn't
Well,
going to
there's a lot
take
going on.
I wasn't going to take nothing out of his paycheck immediately. I felt bad.
Right.
You know, yes, it's a lot of money. Plus, he knew the parts were over $2,000 from Toyota. He
Right.
sort of receipts for those. The labor, I was unsure of yet because I didn't get a bill yet from South Shore by the time he quit.
And then,
The labor, I wasn't unsure of because he quit before I got the bill from labor from South Shore.
Okay, so you technically had not yet started to deduct anything from his.
Nothing yet.
All right.
He gave me $1,000 towards, so I took it in trust.
And how
He
did
gave
he
me
quit?
$1,000.
What did he say?
It was, I believe it was August 26th. It was a Monday night. He's supposed to be working. I had work coming over. I could not get a hold of him. 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8. I have a customer calling, yelling, screaming. I've been waiting for a tow truck for 2 hours. I'm like, you know what? I had to go out in my truck and go do it. I come back to my shop. I see my truck looks like it was just parked. I feel by the motor, tires, all hot. A few minutes later, I get a text message from him. Find someone else to do their work. I'm tired of feeling like a worthless employee. I'm not paying you nothing. And that was basically
Can
it.
I see the text?
I don't have the phone anymore. I go through a phone once a month.
So is the employee responsible for the damage?
Yeah, he is.
Why?
Because he was driving the car.
So even if you're working for somebody else, you're responsible if there's a screw up.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, everybody thinks, yeah, going inside the courtroom.
What's going on?
Well, originally we had the whole accident. He had told me to bring the truck to the body shop that he knows.
Well, what was the damage to the car?
It was the rear end. It was
Yeah, but what was the damage? How bad was it?
it was a taillight and part of the pickup bed itself. So he had shown me
Part of the pickup bed was what?
it was like dented in a little bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I'm seeing about what they supposedly repaired is a heck of a lot more than how you're describing it.
Well, it ended up that because of that one dent in the pickup bed, they had to replace the whole pickup bed.
Oh.
And then he also had a tonneau cover that was damaged also
Okay.
from the dent, you know, being the pickup bed was pushed in.
Okay.
So, you know, he had said, listen, I have two choices here. I could either go through insurance or I could pay it in cash. And I said, you know, you're the boss. You know, you decide. I'm not going to make a decision for you. So
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you understand him to be saying that you would be paying it?
No,
What, do you think he was just asking for your advice?
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was working for the company. I was an employee, you know, and from working with other companies, you know, I know that if you're an employee, if something happens, the company is liable for it.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. The company would be liable to me, to that third party, but the separate question is, will that company then go after you for something that is wholly and completely and totally your negligence?
Okay.
I mean, you're the guy who backed into the tree, right? And ended up damaging the customer's car
Yes.
and costing all this money. So some people have an arrangement with their employer where they'll never have to be out of pocket. Other people have an arrangement where they will always have to be out of pocket. It usually comes up in things like tickets for delivery men. But this is not the situation that you have. You have a situation where neither one of you said anything about this because nobody ever expected you to back into a tree. And so what's the default position? Who the heck should pay it if not you, if it's you're backing into the tree?
Well, once he had told me, you know, after we had talked about, you know, insurance or paying cash, you know, it was maybe a couple weeks, a month later, where he started showing me bills. And then it was, well, how are you going to pay me back for this? And then I was, you know, well, you had the choice to go through insurance. You know, this was never really talked about me paying the full sum for...
Did he say that to you?
No. Why do you think he gave me $1,000?
Yeah. So how did you give him $1,000?
The reason
if
why
that
I gave him
wasn't something
$1,000 is because he came up to me and said, listen, how about you give me what the deductible would be if we went through insurance? You know, and you know, pretty much, hey, you keep your job, you give me this money, I'll let you work. You know, at the time, I was making good money where, you know, and that's what I do. You know, it's one of the things I'm good at.
And then, so what was the plan? How was the payment going to happen?
We never really went through with a plan.
Okay. Do you have the canceled checks?
I have most of them. Some payments were in cash, some were in checks, depending on who it went to.
Okay. Let me see everything you have in checks. All right. Here's where we are, folks. You know, we have a situation which was created by your negligence. It's an accident. It happens. And you feel that you shouldn't have to pay for it because he's a businessman and he has insurance. Well, that's not a legal defense. So I do find in his favor, I'm taking into account the $1,000 that you've already paid, and the remaining balance then is $4,617.02 verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Well, there comes the employee, former employee, who loses his case. Step on in here. What? You don't look happy.
No.
Why would you be?
I mean, I was led on to that he was going to take care of it, and then all of a sudden it was, oh, you got to pay for it. So.
Led on? I mean, he says it's your responsibility. What gave you another idea?
Well, originally, he said, hey, listen, I go through insurance or, pay for it. And he,
Don't you think if the boss just took care of it, then that would make employees kind of careless? You can go crashing around.
No, but, we had a friend, we were also friends too. So, I thought he was,
She's smiling. What do you do now for a living?
I work over at a deli.
Deli, no more towing?
Nah, not right now.
Okay. All right, head right around the corner there. Okay, so step on in here. All right, you were able to produce the evidence you needed.
Yes.
What's your reaction to this outcome here?
I'm just happy that I got paid back the money I spent out. That was the only reason why I came today. I don't hate him. I got nothing against him. I wish him the best of luck.
Was he a good employee?
He was a good employee. That's why I didn't take the money or fire him immediately. I wanted to work things out with him, but he went the other route. And this is where we are today.
Why do you think he changed his mind like that and sort of tried to stiff you?
Well, his parents opened up a deli, and all of a sudden he quit and went to go work there the next day. He didn't mention that in the courtroom.
Harvey.
This is pretty much universal in almost every state. If you work for somebody, even if you're on the clock and you say, look, I'm just doing my job, if you screw up and you're negligent, you're responsible for damage.